2 tumbling cucumbers is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6. We need to complete a game of chimps using just 2 towers. We're going full support today, but also full offensive with the Sentry Champion and the primary expertise. Now we have 3 different access points of attacks in this spot. Obviously this little bit here, this long straight here, or this long windy bit here, and this tad little bit over here when we have sentries down. Keeping yours strong will mean you always target the blue balloons or the green balloons if they're the strongest target on the screen, and then clear everything else up after that. Get ourselves everything which we need. So, a lot of people ask why I only have certain cross pathings chosen, and today I've decided to keep all paths open, but I think we just know like which monkey village path we're going to pursue. But here we go, Sentry Gun is now online, which means we don't have to worry about not having enough firepower for the time being. We're essentially gunning it towards Sentry Expert so that we can start damaging the leads. Now, what about round 24 and the camo green balloon? Well, on Tinkerton, there is this rocket up here which you can click a whole bunch of times and then it fires off towards, I think it's like the sorry, not the furthest, but the firstmost balloon on the screen. So let's say round 24, you click it a bunch of times, it launches off, and it attacks the camo green on that round. Pretty ideal, and especially what we need considering we have nothing at the moment when it comes to the camo problem. Obviously, if we ever did a Sentry Champion Ultra Boost 2-tower chimp scenario, then the cleansing foam would be an answer to 2 different problems. One is the lead issue, and number 2 is the camo issue. Ah yes, our greatest adversary, yellow balloons. Now we want to leave our engineer uncross-pathed for the moment here, so we're not going to go with either larger surface area or oversized nails at the moment, simply because after getting Sentry Expert, we desperately need to get our radar scanner upgrade up and going for our village. But obviously before that we need to actually put our engineer down to be able to do this. Now at the moment this combination is only possible on Scrapyard and Tinkerton because of map features, and I don't think you can pop enough balloons on Ancient Portal to be able to fully activate the totems, so then you can actually activate it on round 24. I don't think that's how it works. You need more souls than that. Right, here we go. Sentry Expert is up and running now. Now, round 24. And pop goes the camo green balloon. Now, if we did Homeland Defense paired with Sentry Champion and we was going for all pop scenarios, I bet somebody would be like, but Flair, you used the rocket to pop the camo green balloons. It's not considered all prop. Shut up! Anyways, round 27, a whole bunch of balloons to try and take down. Sometimes a huge amount of PS, well, actually a huge amount of PS is required for this round. Okay, what about these lead issues? This is why we need Sentry Expert, so that we can produce these wonderful bomb sentries to be able to deal with them. And you are in the range of our village, which is good. Yeah, when you place down a village over a tower, you know that it's within the range of that tower because the white stroke appears over that tower. And we have barely just enough money to be able to get radar scanner for round 33, so it's not like you can get yourself a bigger radius for it anyways beforehand. Not at all. With a whopping 317 to spare, we need another 113 if we want to place it further away. Now we can afford to decide on A, getting ourselves some jungle drums so that both the engineer and our sentries can attack faster, but then also which cross pathing to choose for our Sentry Champion. Now for the bad, I would like to obviously go down deconstruction, which will mean we can destroy it even faster than if we were to go down to pins, but I'm really feeling the bottom cross path nowadays. I feel like the early game, the mid game, and the late game, aside from damage output, we will always be able to perform a little bit better with the additional PS and being able to lock in place anything that is a rainbow or below. I've not seen the pin actually pin a ceramic, but maybe I'm wrong. No, it doesn't. Nope, not at all. I thought that was the case, but maybe I was just being a bit silly. We know the Master Builder can pin DDTs and all that, so better upgrade, but obviously not accessible in this scenario. Round 40, Moab, done and dusted. Unless we want to get primary expertise first before Sentry Champion, then there's no point going up any further with the village for the time being, as we want to pursue the Sentry Champion next. Not too near the future, but eventually I will get around to doing this scenario, but going with homeland defense instead of primary expertise. Or if for some stupid reason you're able to make this work on Ravine, then be my guest. Ravine has that sword in which you can unplug and it follows around a balloon or something. I don't really play Ravine because I find that map just to be incredibly hard, too difficult for myself. Like, I find geared barely doable. And that's like just playing it normally, not doing like a self-imposed challenge or gaining an achievement like getting the 2 megapots achievement or anything like that. I'm just not good at the game. By dealing with all these regrow balloons, see, we would have issues if we went up to deconstruction. Obviously with these targets, and also the fortified part of these targets, we will do better against them. But the pierce aspect, we need a lot of pierce, and this provides a lot of pierce. Please produce laser sentries, please. Or energy, sorry. I got the name wrong. Holding back the hordes of balloons. And then these pufferfish with hats. Have you ever seen that before? A pufferfish wearing a top hat? Were any of you lucky enough, if you're looking for a Switch 2, to be able to get your copy of a Switch 2? Luckily mine just came to post day, and now I'm just waiting for the updates to roll in. Thanks, Cold Sentries. Please say that we can actually do this. Oh, would you stop producing these Cold Sentries? This is not what I need, game. I need the energy sentries to be able to go through these Moab class balloons. But no, I can't damage them in time, and now I'm stuck on this infinite loop. Oh, please pop that last one. Please. Oh, for goodness sakes, really? Is this how it's really going to go? I'm dying because of a mechanic imbued into the game, which is absolute ass. Alright, put one of the energy sentries on last for a little bit, and that seems to have done the job. Round 53, Sentry Expert properties slash programming slash whatever is very fickle in a 2TC scenario, especially when it's your only damage dealer for that given point in time. Like, I know there's these Moabs on this round, but have you ever considered the camo pink balloons, which are stupidly fast? Maybe you want to slow those down, or pop them, or just do something to control their speed. Nah, I think about the bigger targets, not the speedy pinky boys. I'd rather have the splody purple boys than the speedy pink boys. Have you ever seen a purple orc before? No, they don't exist. They're too camouflaged. Without being stupid, on round 53, the Sentry Expert thinks and prioritizes the camo pink balloons before prioritizing the Moab class balloons. I think it's whatever is first, or whatever the Sentry Expert thinks is a threat at that given point in time. But I think the bigger threat is bigger than the smaller threat, which is faster. Yeah, my Switch 2 is just installing all of the updates I had from my previous games on my normal Switch. But for goodness sakes, Pokemon Violet or Scarlet or whatever Pokemon game you have no longer runs like a goddamn stop motion animation like it did on the first Switch. Purple balloons are not a problem because the nail gun on the engineer is still the sharp damage type. Actually, in this case, it's the shatter damage type because we can pop frozen balloons using the oversized nails, which benefit both the engineer and the sentries. I forgot about that factor. Going down here no longer means you can have the sharpening stone. Also, if you got the micro SD card for your Switch 2, I would say that unless prompted on the screen to insert your micro SD card in, do not preemptively put your micro SD card in, as this system will not recognize it as a new one, but one that is already put into place. Although thankfully you can alternatively just go to transfer save data from your Switch 1 and transfer it to Switch 2 later on, but at first glance I'm thinking, well, I can't use this £50 micro SD card, but I also brought with the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, which came to nearly 500 quid. I'm surprised that the Switch 2 also released in America on the same release date as other parts of the world, considering the tariff man gave it a few problems. Anyway, story is over. Back to this 2TC scenario. We're just waiting to get enough money now in order to get the primary expertise. We will not have any problems whatsoever when it comes to our current setup and our Sentry Champion being the only thing at the moment that can actually damage the balloons. Also, we're doing a lot of waiting in order to get this towards this part of the track. Now, we're utilizing this end part of the track because when the balloons go through this portion of the field, they do go at it at reduced speed, which is very nice. I think damage is going to be incredibly tight when it comes to the bad around 100, because for over half of the track, or at least half of the track, we won't be able to damage it anyways because, well, we don't have the range to do so. But that's with the Sentry Champion. The primary expertise, however, the most commonly used tower to get through certain advanced challenges, featuring the likes of Punji, Ethan Reed, anybody else who does the advanced challenges, is like one of the most commonly used towers in order to get through their scenario. And a lot of them are like on round 76, so it's like, well, why would you go for anything else other than the primary expertise that can just one-shot it all? Or at least I think it one-shots the entire round. At the very least, you don't have to worry about the regrow property, as it just does so much damage anyways. Oh, imagine what the ZMGs are going to be like. Get yourself a coffee, everybody, because this might be a long scenario. Well, not for you. For me, it will be. Although this should accelerate the process just a little bit by getting the primary expertise. Now we have a means of attacking no matter what range we are at. Round 75, now round 7... Yeah, it does insta-kill round 76, for goodness sakes. It's going to be a little bit off topic, but it's still Balloons Tower Defense 6 related. Now, when it comes to overclocks and ultra boosts, you know, the engineers that can provide a temporary attack increase to a tower as long as it has that spanner over them. It works a little bit differently for monkey villages instead of other towers. Even farms receive the same thing, producing more, but unlike Call to Arms and Homeland Defense, overclock and ultra boost are the only things that can increase the number of bananas or crates that a farm can produce, which is very nice. Now, what about the village? Well, when you apply a overclock and or an ultra boost onto the village, it increases its range. But with the primary expertise, since it has a weapon, it counts as both an attack and a village. So it does both, increases its range, but it also increases the ballista's fire rate, which is honestly really cool. It's really cool to have that kind of interaction where it doesn't like choose either or, it does both. Do not worry, Sentry Champion, you are now not alone in the means of popping the yellow balloons and everything else. Although the primary expertise and the Master Bomber have something in common, their attacks can miss. I suppose other attacks can miss as well if a balloon is fast enough, but just thinking about it generally, the Master Bomber's sticky bombs that it throws at infinite range can miss a target if it's fast enough, and the primary expertise is also in the same boat where it can miss its only attack if the balloon travels fast enough, which is not a good thing. But if the balloons travel in a long line like this where they're all cuddled together, then the attack, which attacks a different target in comparison to what it was initially going for, can still damage a balloon. Can two-shot fortified Moabs, which is very good. And the rest are now dealt with. Now, can this catch up to you? Or, like, you've overtaken. But can you catch up with that? That's the order I was meant to say this in. It's just that this thing's been popping for more rounds. That's why I was thinking that this was overtaking this. In terms of pop count. Don't you just love fortified targets? Don't you just love the same thing, but twice as difficult to pop their outer layers so that they're no longer a ceramic? Don't you just love that? It's so much fun, isn't it? Round 90. What about these DDTs? Not a problem. At least you have the normal damage type, although I can sense Ninja Kiri change it so that it no longer has the normal damage type, but has something like Shatter. One day the only way to get the normal damage type is to literally have an MIB supporting all of your towers. Even the vengeful true sun god, even every paragon cannot escape the wrath of the Ninja Kiri nerfs. Although saying that, wasn't one of the attacks at the Navarch of the Sea projected was by default a sharp damage type rather than a normal one? I'm pretty sure that was a thing, but then they changed it so that it is now a normal damage type attack. Imagine Ninja Kiri going insane and like the hook ability that the Navarch of the Seas has a damage type, so it can't grapple in DDTs, but it can pull in this huge ass whale, which is the pink bad. But either way, all of my Merv skins I have at the moment deployed are fish related skins, stuff from the bottom of the ocean, the top of the ocean, or just everything, because it covers the entire ocean when you put on the big Moab option. Sorry, the big balloon option, that's the one. Imagine a big boss scenario rather than just a small one. Yeah, I want to entirely clutter my entire screen with a fat elite, tier 5 elite lich, literally consuming half of the entire screen because you decide to put big boss mode on. I would love that, actually. I would honestly love that. But then again, with this game being single-threaded rather than multi-threaded, that one little processor or core at work supporting a game is going to have a rough old time, whereas your other cores on your PC is like, well, I can help. Nah, the game won't allow you. Only one core at a time, people. Or one processor at a time. If it was one processor, that'd be great. How are we doing here? 880, and you're at 600,000, which is nice. I suppose this is going to really creep up in pops as round 98 comes around. Oh, it's taking so long to take down these fortified ZMGs. This is not giving me much hope in the bad on round 100. Yeah. Okay, round 90. Yeah, that barely got to the exit. It started going across this blaze of grass. Not a big fan of that, not gonna lie. Put you on strong to whittle down the ZMG's health. We can definitely take out these using the Sentry Champion, or the Sentry Champagne, as another would call it, in an update at some point. Okay, we're not going to be able to get like 1 million pops each, or can we? Oh, looking very tight here. And no, that's not what your partner said. Oh, crap. I wasn't being serious, by the way. It's a joke. I know that some people cannot handle the concept of a joke. Everything one says is 100% serious, with capital bold red writing, and not just any kind of red writing. I'm talking about the red that was once inside your body. Okay, that works out really well. Okay, 1,020,000. Could we still get a mint? No, I don't think so, actually. I think this is going to just stay as it is. And are you for real, game? Maybe I should just keep you on first. Oh, these fortified DDTs are a wreck. Okay, so that was pretty good to keep him on first rather than strong. That seemed counterintuitive, but we'll take it. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get 1 million pops with a Sentry Champagne. That's right, the canonical name for you now is Sentry Champagne. And we have 100k in the bag. I think the cheapest one I've ever done on the channel was quite recently with the Archmage and the Oben hero. Okay, this is not looking good. Not looking good at all. At all. Okay, you are bandaged now, but the ZMGs, for goodness sakes, what do we do here? You're putting them too far over this way. Okay, maybe we need a tempo reset. I like you to deploy them over here at this given point in time, but when the bad proceeds over here, I'd rather if you deployed your Sentry champions over on the right. Please, that would be thoroughly appreciated. Keep them over on the right side of the track, which you're doing right now, which is, yeah, this is a different layout than our first attempt, because those deities made it near the exit, which I'm not a big fan of. Okay. We're going to need to explode them, which is good. Okay. So, I didn't originally know this when I started playing the game, that you can actually sell these. Or was it the fact that it was only included in a update where you can actually sell your champion sentries so that then they can preemptively explode rather than have a delayed explosion? Anyways, that's just a really good feature of them. They are unstable, but they still serve a good purpose in death or your deconstruction. Although we didn't perceive that today, but that's fine. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. This has been the Sentry Champion and Primary Expertise 2-Tower Chimps. Another one that you can do with Primary Expertise is the Permacharge. I don't think the Carrier Flagship is possible anymore because of the damage type changing, although I could be wrong. Okay, Carrier... That's why I'm going to do it. Carrier Expertise. Okay, it's been done on Sparpit, so I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong about that one. Thanks to a certain Gem 5 starter Pokemon. But then again, that's just a username. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought of the video down in the comment sections below, and see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're ever in the store, then please use my creator support code. It helps me out a lot. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and take care of yourselves.